Okay, I think we're there. Cool. Okay, so we're a few minutes past 8, but welcome to Monday night training. I'm a little bit nervous because I haven't done this for quite some time. In fact, it was back in 2022, but I think I know everybody's faces on here. But my name's Gemma Hollingworth, and I'm an independent consultant. And I joined back, as I said, in 2020 in the October. And then got my DM title, my district manager title, very quickly, literally on New Year's Eve. So sort of jumped in and was sort of super excited about it all. However, the title of my training tonight is When the Going Gets Tough, Keep Going. I feel like it wasn't an instant thing that came to my mind to sort of put that to the training, but I guess as the months trickled on and obviously you start to sort of understand what you need to do to build your business, it felt right for me doing the training tonight to put that into place. Where am I at? Okay, so wanted to break the training down into 3 sections, and the first was my why, but also linked into how did I find out about Arbonne, how did I hear about it? So in the year of that, in that time frame of 2020, I just at the beginning of the year just stopped feeding my second child and knew that I was going to stack some weight on. It happened with my first child, and also I was having a bit of an issue with my knee, and I'd got a appointment to have an operation in the March. So I didn't start the timer, perfect. So I knew that I needed to do something about my weight. It already sort of it increased with having my second child. But it wasn't until I sort of was thinking about how I was going to do that, because I'd had a health and wellness background, and I thought I got it under control, that I realised that actually wasn't going to be as easy as I thought. So I had a bit of a sort of chat with a few different people and thought that exercise was going to be the main thing, but I couldn't do that because of the knee injury. So in the March, the knee operation happened, and what was supposed to be a 2-week recovery was now 6 weeks. And then literally a week after my operation, lockdown happened. So lots of baggy, elasticated clothes started to be put on. I think we all could resonate with the fact that we lost a little bit of ourselves, and we didn't go out, we didn't try normal clothes, and so you just lost that whole understanding of what body shape you were supposed to be anymore. I didn't own a pair of scales, and it was only when I ended up catching up with some of the dancing mums as we were able to sort of go out and still participate in a few activities, and sort of said, right, what are you ladies, what are these little sachets that you're taking? And it was then that I knew that what they were, it was fizz sticks. That understanding of what Arbonne was and the nutrition side of it was, something I'd never heard of before, and I knew of Arbonne about 6 or 7 years previously, but it was just a bit of a reality check. And then as quickly as I sort of asked what it was about, a mutual friend of mine in Jade's put me in touch with Jade, and she was super quick to sort of get in touch and tell me all about what it was. And that's when I jumped on to doing my first 30 days, and that was in the June. I guess a couple of bits from that was the fact that Jade, the fizz sticks were like little billboards on that table. If I hadn't have seen them, it wouldn't have sort of spurred me on to ask the question. And sort of in a flip, and sort of looking back now 2 years later, realising that we've all got these little tools at our hands. We know it's a word of mouth business. And I'm starting to sort of realise now that, you have to be sort of a product of the product, and using the fizz sticks, using the tea bags, using your protein, your water bottles, etc. That's all part of you showing what you're doing, and not being sort of too in anyone's face, but sort of putting the information out there for people to see and ask questions about. And likewise, when our clients are doing that with the same thing, with the products that they're having as trial runs, or actually, sorry, one sec, you're not going to be putting that volume on now, are you? The fact that we can, utilise our products as the word of mouth just by somebody holding on to it. So what I try to do when I'm with the girls at dancing or out and about is that I will have my fizz stick, and I will put my fizz into my drink, but just be talking about something else. So, you know, what I've been doing at the weekend and just doing it naturally. So it's almost that people are seeing what I'm doing and looking, and what is this? I'll leave it on the side, or let my tea bag hang over the edge with, you know, the little, you know, the Arbonne sign on it. So it was almost like it made me stop and think 2 years later about actually how you can sort of promote these products out there without having to sort of, you know, I'm using this today type moment. And secondly, the part of that, what I experienced was the fact that Jade was sort of super efficient with coming to me to get the appointment booked in. And again, in reflection now, is that, you know, that's the perfect way to sort of approach everything, is nail it down with a couple of time slots of when people can get in contact with you, rather than leaving it open and allowing them to run for the hills and not come back to you. And that's exactly what Jade did. So I remember it was a call that I had, and while I was working from home, and I was sort of trying to hide on my jumper, I was making excuses for what I looked like, etc. And there was Jade glowing. And first and foremost, the call came through, and I cut it off because I thought I'd actually started the video call, and I didn't mean to. And it was actually, no, this is what we do face to face. And then I just thought, actually, you know, she looks, or, you know, glowing. And I thought to myself, it looks like pristine. And I thought, actually, here I am looking bedraggled. But actually, that's sort of a vision of, you know, what, you know, ideally I would probably do if I went out. So again, the flip side of it is that, you know, being product to the product, and that's what I saw. And eventually, you know, experimenting to using more makeup and different things. And I feel like, you know, 2 years on, that's almost, you know, that's naturally sort of happened with me as well, to a certain degree, albeit my greasy hair at times. So the why of and how I found Arbonne was that I did it through my friends, but it was because of the visuals. And it's sort of saying to you, you know, be aware of that when you're out and about, and how you do it with your clients. And I try to say to my clients, if you can use your fizz sticks and take some with you and have the samples yourself, is that you can always be there to sort of ask and say, would you like a sample, and use it that way. The other part to my why was the fact that I wanted to do something for me and myself. I hadn't got any sort of hobby, and also I was looking into a different sort of career change, but didn't really know what I was going to do to compensate the wage that I was on. And this just naturally fell at my feet. And when I did the 30 days, I loved the products, I got the results, and it was just a no-brainer. And I was secretly hoping that Joe would ask me to have a look at the business, because I just thought I'd really like to learn more about these products. And here I am, 2 years on, plus still sort of learning bits and bobs. And likewise tonight for the product spotlight as well. Okay, so very quickly into the second part, which was the setting the goals. I feel like I'm not really sort of very good at blowing my own trumpet, but my goal setting really, I guess, in my sort of 2-year journey is doing the 30 days the first time round. Then I decided to do it just before Christmas. And by that point, I'd already signed up to be a consultant in the October. And then also again in the January. So again, that window slot of where we are now. So that I think, again, in looking 2 years back from where I am now, is that by just naturally doing that, taking the pictures, the before and afters, logging down my food diary, making a bit of a journey, taking pictures of my food, it's all evidence and all tools for us to use. So now we're in that same position again. So is this 2020, 2021, 2022, so 3 years worth, so three Januaries worth of time where I've had the opportunity to sell my journey that I've journaled myself, be able to do testimonials for. So again, on the flip side of the goals that I smashed was the fact that I achieved my weight loss. So I'd actually lost 3 stone from the June to the January. And I was able to then show my true self journey to my customers, and likewise. And that's how initially at the beginning, I sold like 7 or 8 30-day packs to the build up to me going district manager. And I think now, how did I do that? And how did I get district manager? And how did I get people to say yes to it? But again, it was the passion, it was the results, the people could see it and could see my change and the journey that I had. So again, it's sort of using tonight's training to sort of show, you know, while you've got this moment now in the January, if you're on the 30 days, journal everything, take pictures, take pictures of your food, save them, put them into folders so that you know where things are, because it's really difficult to go back, isn't it? Especially when you've got so many and your phone's so full. and also do it with your clients also. So where they're doing it for the first time, or they're taking just one product, for example, or they're doing any of the 3 bundles that we've offered, get them to journal it down. And if they're happy to do testimonials and happy for you to show where their progression and the fact that they've loved them so much, but then offer them, as we suggest, a bit of a freebie of some kind, a complimentary item, to have that information back if they're happy for you to use it. Because as we know, it's really powerful, isn't it? And a picture paints 1,000 words. So my big white pants pictures that I have, lots of people have seen them. So it's really powerful for people to see where the journey that you come from. So the goal setting for me in that 2-year period, yes, I smashed my DM, but I had to sort of unpick how I got there. And now in reflection, 2 years back, I can see what I did to do that. And it's now me really key of driving forward, because sadly I did lose my DM because I almost sort of forgotten what I was doing of how I got there. So now, as I say, in that reflection, I'm unpicking what I did do, knowing what worked, and just really sort of saying now, when, while you've got this opportunity, journal your January and take pictures and get your clients to really help you with that. And then that's going to set you in good stead for all of the months for the next lots of 30 days that are to come. A little bit of reflection of that also is that when you go to events, do as Jade said, take pictures, go and stand near that, go and do something silly and look like, you're in the moment. Because again, doing this 10-day social media challenge, although I've been really behind on it, it's made me actually stand back and think, oh gosh, I wish I'd had that picture taken next to that billboard and, got next to that sign that was to be able to give me some promotion to then show my journey. And I know now that by doing those types of things, it's going to really help me to be able to sort of show my story in the reels, etc. going forward. I can see I've got some, I don't know whether or not I need to answer your questions that you've put in there or not. Just conscious of the time. Yeah, you do feel silly, and that I've tried to sort of, as I was practicing reading this out, you do feel a little bit silly, but you just got to get over that. And I still do now. But if you look back at your pictures from any of the events that you go to, they are really powerful if you take the picture and then you'll be able to show your journey. And it's a really beautiful thing that, lots of you have done really great reels just lately, and it looks lovely. And I know that they're true emotions of how you're feeling. It's just that you have to put yourself in that position to be able to show people from the outside actually what they're missing and what they could be a part of. So, okay, unless anyone's got any big questions, I'm going to jump on to the product spotlight. So I've only got 10 minutes, and the product spotlight is the 3 Gs, the GGG, the Green Guts Glow. So it's 3 bits to cover. What I would really like, because I feel like I'm probably not going to do this as good justice as it needs, is that if you have any little snippets of things that you always go to, that you always say, a little bit of information, then shout it out. What's Jamie just said that? Yeah, boards. So Jamie, you're really good at that, aren't you? Creating a board. I don't think I've ever created one, but for example, for information for tonight, for things around the gut, it's a good idea to stick everything in one of the boards that you can create, because then you can go back to it and you can add pictures and text and information in there, as well as I personally have been using albums in your pictures and then using my notes, but again, boards is a perfect way to put it all together. So yeah, thanks Jamie. Okay, so the Green Guts Glow. So it's 3 powerhouse supplements, as we know. So who have we got on here? I think everybody has been here for some longer duration. I think Lindsay, you're probably the only person that I don't think we've met in person yet, but also maybe the newer face. But you're doing super well as well. So that duration doesn't mean anything in this game. So 3 powerhouse supplements that we can put together and be a single daily supplement. So as we know, we're putting all of these 3 items together, and the G's stand for greens, the gut, and where's the other one gone to? The glow, the new the book. So greens, I was going to bring the products and have them to show you, but you know what they look like. But is the Be Well Superfood Greens, and this has 36 fruits and veggies combined, ground down. It's powder form, as we know, in a pot. Isn't the best of smells, but actually, the more you take it, we know that our palate changes, and actually, it becomes quite okay, nice, if I can say that. Things that are in it is it has fibre in there. and I think it's called prebiotic fibre, and has phytonutrients, which basically means it's plants, which is what phyto means. It's got plant nutrients in there, and that would make sense, wouldn't it? Because it's got all those fruits and veggies that are in there, and also has antioxidants. So antioxidants is basically something that breaks down free radicals, and free radicals are things that are around us in all kinds of environments, and pollution, the weather, anything that's bad and nasty, and that naturally would get absorbed into your body. So if you put in antioxidants into your body via this supplement, then it's going to break down the antioxidants, and obviously that's going to be a good thing there. That's good to know. Trying to think what else I put down for the greens. So it has lots of algae in there. So it has the rainbow, and we always get told to eat the rainbow, don't we? So it's got different things, algae in there. So the green, red, yellow and blue. So it's the rainbow, as I say. And this comes from, if I can say it right, spirulina. And I don't know if you've noticed on a lot of the social media posts, I tend to like them so that I get the feeds come back through, and then I can sort of, well, not pinch the information, but do the comparisons to what's out there on the market. Because I like to know if somebody says, oh, I'm already using so-and-so product, you can see, you already know what it is. You know, you're savvy about what's actually out there already. You can do some comparison to what we have and what they don't have. Generally, that's how it works. And also knowing the costings of things, so people are not sort of literally sort of blowing you out the ballpark with this one's cheaper. Well, you probably know why it is cheaper, but obviously you just want to know and do your homework. And it also has the chlorella, if I've said that right. So it's things that, knowing those buzzwords, because that tends to be what other products out there on the market are using, but knowing that actually that's what our has in there too. It is gluten-free, which also is super handy, because last year my daughter was diagnosed with being celiac, and that is where you have to have a gluten-free diet. And although the ingredients in the superfoods say that it has wheat and barley grasses, it actually has the stamp to say it is gluten-free. So that's super helpful when you are dealing with a client that is potentially celiac. What else to tell you? It says that it promotes a healthy GI tract, and that's the gastrointestinal tract. So again, it's just getting familiar with the meet the product sheet that's attached to everything that's on the website with every product. And just getting if you've got a printer, print it out and highlight all the areas that you're going to grab out as buzzwords, and then use that, write your own spiel, and then again save it in your notes or create your own boards, and then you can have it there straight away every time. Okay, so the next one is the gut. So I rewrote it back out again, shouldn't have off the top of my head. So it's the gut health, and it's digestion and microbiome support. So this has, as we know, 3 important things in there. It has the pre and probiotics and the digestive enzymes, 11 if I'm not correct, not telling you fibs. So pre and probiotics. So I always get mixed up which was which. So the probiotics are the beneficial, the good bacteria. So it's adding in good bacteria into our body. And this is what we're saying that we need more of, because we tend to find that the balance is more bad bacteria to good. So we need to rebalance that by adding this probiotic into our bodies, so adding it as a supplement. We know that there's other supplements that are out there that have this probiotic that we hear on the TV, but as most of you will get told, is that lots of these get broken down before they've even got into the actual gut. So again, it's knowing that information, and also knowing that the way that ours is put into the little sachets in the dry form rather than a liquid, is that actually it's going to reach your gut and not activate until it hits the gut lining, because lots of them get broken down by acids within our body before they've reached it. So it's a waste of money. So again, it's giving that information to the customer, and it's really interesting information at the same time. And then the pre part, which again, you don't tend to get the two together with lots of the products that are out there, is the fuel. So it's making sure that the good bacteria can eat on the prebiotic to keep it fueled and get it to where it needs to get to as well, and keep it there and making sure it's doing its work. And then the 11 digestive enzymes, which you tend to think all of that information rolls off the tongue, but it's really important to know that these digestive enzymes help break down the food. So it's really important that the food gets broken down into smaller parts as possible, so that they are more absorbable into the cells, into our body. And then obviously, if it's good food that we're eating and that we're obviously advocating, the smaller it becomes broken down into, then the more of that nutrients can actually go and be utilised in the body, which is super helpful. So it's little bits of information like that. It doesn't take you long to check meet the product, Google these words, get a bit of information, and just know that you're actually giving the people that are wanting these and that are needing these, that are going to be really, really vital to changing their health, that are getting the right information, because these are going to be light bulb moments for people. What else to tell you? So as well as normally when we tell people about this product, for the gut part of it is the fact of what it's going to do for you. So it tends to be that it's going to manage the bloat, and that bloating's there because we've got this toxin layer of 9 to 12 pounds and plus more of toxins laying on our tummy. So as the good bacteria starts to work, and obviously we're implementing a healthy lifestyle, and in our 30 days we would have the cleanse as well in there, is that those layers, that toxin layer, has been broken down. So that then in turn is taking away the bloat, because that bloat is that toxin layer that's building up. And when that happens, then we're going to get a better skin, where we've had skin issues maybe before. Any tiredness and sleep issues that we've had, again, going to start to be eradicated. And the fact that some people actually really struggle to lose weight because their gut's in not a great shape. So if people are finding that they're doing everything possible, but they just feel they go to the gym a zillion times, just not losing weight, again, it's a real big key thing for people that are in that situation. Fun facts for the gut are that we perhaps know already, but again, if you've got the boards, remember that they're in there. The gut health workshop is that 80% of your immune system is controlled by your gut bacteria. And as we know, we would tend to think that actually the main and the most powerful thing, an organ of our body, is our brain. But we forget that actually anything that's physical and mentally going on in our lives would be controlled by a brain, but actually it's the gut. So if that's in its good form and working effectively, then we're going to make sure that we're firing on all cylinders. And when 80% of it is derived from there and being sort of directed and moved from there, it's really important that the gut is in its best form and its best health. The happy hormone serotonin is made in the gut. So again, if people aren't feeling great, they've got that cloud over their head, then again, that's really important for people to know that they're going to get some change in how they're feeling. And the one that always amazes me is the gut is the home for trillions of bacteria. And we have more bacteria in our gut than we do human cells in our body. So again, it's giving people these interesting facts to know that it's a real powerful product. Okay, and the last of the three is the glow. So this is the skin elixir, the collagen builder, and it's good for hair, skin, and nails, which is what people tend to know what it's for. And the ingredients that are in there, the vitamin C, which helps to build the collagen, and this is the skin elixir is building on natural collagen that we already have, rather than adding extra collagen and layering it, which a lot of the ones on the market do that. It has that hyaluronic acid, which helps to retain moisture. So again, if our skin's drying out, then obviously that's signs of aging and the wrinkling and the thinning of the skin. So we need the plumpness that hyaluronic acid, I know I shouldn't say it twice, is going to help to that. And that's really important, because I hear that all the time and I didn't know that, and I don't know why I didn't know that, but that's really interesting. And then it has other things, which is the blender C buckthorn powder, pine bark extract, and then the vitamin C is also great for antioxidants. But also the fact that ours is vegan, I find, is really, really powerful. There's 3 on the market that I always tend to say is the red one, the peachy one, and the yellow one, and they're all those liquid forms. Rip off the sachet and drink them. But they're all marine-based collagens. So again, it's knowing the fact that there is other ones out there, but actually, again, the switch up between ours and theirs. And obviously combining the 3 is, all of those things that you've got there, the greens, the gut, and the glow, is really sort of putting it out to your customers that, what those 3 are going to help achieve. And again, knowing what your client may be feeling like they're lacking in any of those, using that combo is going to be a bit of a game changer. Right, it's 31 minutes past. starting late. I haven't got anything else to add unless there's something that I've missed desperately, and people always think that that's actually a good thing to tell people. So always like a bit of a golden nugget.
That was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Gemma. Honestly, so much, just so good, just having those little snippets of things that you can just say on a reel, or just a fact if you're just doing a photo or on a story. So just make notes and use that, like, and just add, you know, just it will start to just sink into your brain the more and more you use it, and you start looking at it. So let's go over to the other training. It's literally half an hour. We've got Dr. Lauren Evans and Danny. So I'll see you on the other side. There's a new code. So go back to the group and look at the new code. Bye, guys.